What do you do if you pull up to do a DoorDash delivery and the customer texted you, come to the back door, but there are no lights on, it's creepy as all heck, and no one is visible? Most new Dashers would complete that delivery. I would call support and cancel immediately. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. Now, I've done over 18,000 deliveries on DoorDash. I've identified the situations that put you at the highest risk and the tools that keep you protected. Today, I'm sharing the safety strategies DoorDash doesn't teach you. Essentially, self-defense equipment every driver needs, and the red flags that really mean danger. If you dash at night or in unfamiliar areas or rely on this income, you need to watch this entire video. Let's get into it. Situation number one, I'm going to call this late night apartment complex, motels, hotels. I'm talking like after like 9, 10 o'clock. Apartments in some of these areas can get a little risky fast. For lighting, multiple entry points, people hanging around that probably shouldn't be. So once I had a delivery. It was like 9:30 at night. It was like one of my last orders of the evening, and it was to a local motel. And I'll be honest, I hate delivering here because of situations like I had. I had just that creepy vibe. And then I also had, it felt like someone following me. Like I couldn't get back to my car quick enough just because a lot of times your instincts are correct. Okay, situation number two. If you are a dasher, I personally don't do this, but you do cash on delivery orders. I know they're rare, but they do exist. Let me know if you have this toggle on, but they're a magnet for robbery because they know you have cash on you. If someone knows you're carrying cash, you're a target. My rule is I don't do cash on delivery orders, especially if you choose to do them after it becomes dark out, period. Situation number three, hand it to me customers in isolated areas. When you're going to hand it to me, read the instructions, especially if it's a house in the middle of nowhere with no street lights. If a trucker tells you to go to a middle of a parking lot, that has happened to me. Or like I mentioned earlier in this video, they want you to come around the back to enter through a gate and you were never heard from again. All jokes put aside though, some of these could be legitimate customers and they might also even understand why you might want to leave it on the front. There was one time where I went, it was in the back, and this is when I first started, and I really didn't know any better, but it was like a small walkway, and they had, it was a weird house. They had Coca-Cola machines lined up going to the back of their house, which is actually kind of pretty cool, but they also had dragons out of their windows. It was very strange. Just be careful of going to dark places that you know nothing about. Situation number four, the customer keeps changing your delivery location. If a customer texts you multiple times, changing where to meet them or ask you to deliver somewhere other than the address on the app, call support and have them cancel the order. Do not put yourself, first of all, don't put yourself through the miles of trying to figure out where the delivery is going. Whenever someone changes their address, and if it's not within the vicinity, I'm like, nope, calling support and canceling the order. This is sometimes a common setup for a robbery or even worse. Okay, situation number five, no contact deliveries that feel wrong. Sometimes you pull up and maybe the vibe is just off. Maybe there are people watching from the windows. Maybe the instructions are weirdly specific about where to stand. I said this before and I always say this. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, if something doesn't feel right, get out and call support. I had one time where a customer, this was honestly the scariest situation I've ever been in, but the customer wanted me to deliver and they forgot to change their address. And I pull up to like this country road, pull up to a long driveway, and I'm getting out. And I'm going up to the porch, pitch black. All of a sudden, the guy answers the door. He's like, "What are you doing on my property?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm doing a DoorDash order." He's like, "You need to leave now. Get off my property." I'm like, "I am so sorry. The address I have," and I said the address. He's like, "That's my address," but no one ordered DoorDash. Turns out his nephew ordered it and he didn't even realize it. He apologized profusely, but when it becomes confrontational, it's time to leave. But something just by me pulling up and seeing a complete pitch dark house in the middle of nowhere, that should have been my first sign. All right, let's talk about the tools that should be in your car right now. I always carry, even as a woman, I always carry pepper sprays or gel. Also, roach spray. If you are a state that you can't do pepper spray, if you keep roach spray, it does the same effect. But for me, I keep my pepper spray on my keychain. It is always with me, always within arm's reach at all times. If you get the gel instead of the spray, it doesn't blow back in your face if there's wind. So that would be my recommendation. Honestly, it's worth whatever money you're going to spend on it. So number 2, get a good flashlight. And then not just for seeing in the dark, but like a bright, almost tactical flashlight that can actually disorient your attacker, and it can double as a striking tool if needed. So I always have one in my car just in case. But how many times do you guys deliver and it drives me crazy that there are no lights on a lot of these people's homes? Rule number 3, a personal alarm. There are keychains that are alarms that emit 120 plus decibel sounds when activated, loud enough to scare off attackers and alert people nearby. I always have one in the car. I actually even always have one in my purse. They're easy to get on Amazon. Tool number 4. I've had mine for years now and I would never live without it, and it's a dash cam. To me, this is a non-negotiable. Front of the car, rear of your car, always have it recording. If something happens, you have evidence. If someone tries to scam you, claiming you never get something delivered, you have proof. They range in all different prices. You can shop around, but I literally wouldn't do delivery without one. Now, tool number 5, it's right on your DoorDash app, location sharing. I share my location with my spouse. Sometimes I don't even just go through the app itself. It's a quick text. I'm going here. I'm delivering here. It's kind of our check and balance. You can also use Find My Friends, Google Maps. There's so many ways of sharing your location with loved ones so they always know where you are. One more thing, keep your doors locked at all times. And also always take your keys with you. I know a lot of you guys like to keep your cars running, but it's not always the safest, and make it a habit so you're always safe out delivering. Now let's talk about the orders that you should never complete. Your completion rate can take a hit, but your safety cannot. Your safety is always your number 1 priority. So red flag, customer asks you to stop somewhere else first. If a customer asks you to pick up cigarettes, alcohol, or stop anywhere other than the restaurant or where they're ordering from, cancel. Call support and cancel. This is against the policy and it puts you at risk, especially alcohol or tobacco, anything that's over 18, because you never know if it's a minor trying to do this. Red flag number 2, I talked briefly about this. I am not a big fan of doing hotel or motel deliveries, especially late at night. They can be a little scary unless they tell you to leave it in the lobby and could be high risk. I've heard a lot of horror stories, too many stories to even talk about. If you must take it, deliver it to the front desk and have them meet you in the lobby. Red flag number 3, I'm going to call this the no lights, no house numbers, overgrown property in a sketchy neighborhood. You look at it, you get the creep vibes. If you pull up and the place look abandoned or deliberately dark, trust your gut. Take a photo of the address, mark it as unsafe to deliver, call support, leave it at the end of the driveway or the walkway, or just have support cancel it for you. Red flag number 4, a customer aggressively texting or calling you. If a customer is blowing up your phone with aggressive messages, first of all, I never answer my phone hardly, and messages, I don't like to also even look at them as I'm driving for safety purposes. But if they are sending you messages before you even pick up the food, I don't know, sometimes you might just want to cut your losses ahead of time. Always partner with support. I feel like it's a broken record, but here's the thing. If you go through support with a lot of these issues, they will cancel the order for you and it will never hit your completion rate. That's why that piece of it is so important. And then the next one, your gut says no. This is the most honestly important one I can tell you. If something feels wrong, it probably is. I've canceled orders just because I pulled up to a house and I looked at it and I'm like, no, not happening. One time I pulled up and there was police tape all over the front of it and it was handed to me. I'm like, no, not happening. But your instincts exist for a reason. Listen to them. Remember, DoorDash can't deactivate you for canceling orders due to safety concerns. Document everything, take tons of pictures, and go through the proper steps. Finally, let's talk about what to do if something actually does go wrong. If you feel threatened, do not complete the delivery. Get back to your car, lock your doors, drive away, call support immediately, or call 911 depending on the severity if necessary. Your safety is always more important than any order you do on DoorDash. If someone follows you, do not drive home. This is big. Drive to the nearest police station, fire station, a well-lit public area like a gas station. Call 911 while you're driving. Use your horn to draw attention. Next, if you're in an accident, first check for injuries, obviously, then call 911. And then contact DoorDash support to report it. If you're in an active delivery, they'll tell you what to do and how to proceed. Document everything with photos, damages to all vehicles, license plates, take a picture of their insurances, screens, any injuries, get witnesses, contact information, so on and so forth. Exchange insurance information, but remember, DoorDash coverage only applies if you have an active delivery at that exact moment. If you're robbed or assaulted, your life is way worth more than your phone or your car. Comply, get to safety, and then call 911 and go through the proper channels with the authorities. Contact DoorDash support and document everything. If you need to seek medical attention, even if you think you're fine, adrenaline masks a lot of injuries. Document everything. Keep a log of bad neighborhoods, sketchy deliveries, threatening customers, unsafe situations. This creates a paper trail if you ever need to escalate it further to even DoorDash or even law enforcement. Look, I don't want to scare you. That's not what this is about. But I do want to prepare Dashers for what can happen. DoorDash can be a great side income and even full-time work like I do. And I love doing it. But you have to treat it like the real job it is. And that means taking your safety seriously. Get your own tools, whatever works for you. Trust your gut. Know when to cancel, and never put an order completion ahead of your own personal safety. If this video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe for more DoorDash videos. So let me ask you, have you ever felt uncomfortable delivering a DoorDash order? Have you ever been put in an unsafe situation that you needed to get yourself out of? Or have you ever done your own safety precautions that have worked for you over the years? Go ahead, put them all in the comments below. I do a DoorDash video almost every single day, and you might want more information just like this video. Well, check this one out next. I'll see you over there.